Good morning, happy Sabbath everyone. Hope you all had a good week. Our God is the God of peace. Bringing Jesus back from the dead made peace between us and God. Without a resurrected Christ, we do not have the forgiveness of sin. Or the right relationship with God. Through the perfect life of Christ, and with his miraculous resurrection, God guided himself once and for all to him. God guided us to himself once and for all. Just like that great shepherd of the sheep. He continues this kind of shepherding work through the gift of the Holy Spirit. He works in us to do what is pleasing to him. We need to know and understand that God is our shepherd. He seeks to lead us and protect us. Even though we don't always understand what God is doing in our lives, we just need to trust and have faith in him. Just like a sheep has faith in the shepherd. I'd now like to ask Ethan to present us with the mission story.
Did you know that in Mongolia, the last year of school is the most important? Students graduate and take special exams to determine whether or not they go to university. It was very special for Brianna. She got baptized. 2 missionaries came to a small town and taught a class in a high school on how to stop smoking. Brianna didn't smoke, but she attended the class because she had nothing better to do. She liked the missionaries and accepted their invitation to study the Bible in their home. Soon she fell in love with Jesus and got baptized. After she was baptized, she got serious about her university entrance exams. If students got a high score, she could choose which university to attend to. Many classmates hired private tutors to prepare for her exams. Bruno loved math, but she didn't have enough money for a tutor for the math exams, so she prayed for help. Just help me, please. Finally, the exam day came. All high school graduates from across provinces gathered in the town's main school. Nearly 600 students joined Bruno for the math exam. Whoever got the highest test score would be allowed to choose the university first. Bruno prayed, God be with me. Then the exam started. The teacher locked the door and told the students that they couldn't leave until they had finished and the exams had been graded. After the students finished the exam, they waited and waited. Some parents passed food in through the window. Finally, the teacher reappeared and announced that the test results would only be released the next day. He allowed everyone to go home for the night. When Bruno woke up in the morning, she saw that it had rained. Everything was clean and the sun was shining. In her heart, she heard the words of a song that the Mongolian inventors love to sing. Your love is higher than the sky. Your love is wider than the sea. Bruno wasn't worried about the exam. She praised God. At school, she saw students clustered around a bulletin board with a list of test scores. She could not get close enough to see, so she asked the boy for help. Can you see my name? She said. Is my name on there among the top 10? Her heart sank when the boy said no. But when she got closer, she saw that her name was in 5th place. She couldn't believe it. Later, the teacher handed the graded exams, and Bruno noticed that she had missed only one of the 4 math equations. Then she looked closer and realized that the teacher had made a mistake. She had given the correct answer. She pointed out the mistake to the teacher, but he refused to change her grade. He said that if he changed it, then he would have to double check all of the tests. Bruno was upset. She wanted a perfect score. She remembered that she had prayed and God helped him. The final grade was in his hands. Then it came time for the students to choose the universities. The students who had the top score selected the university. Then the next students chose. Finally, it was Buna's turn. No one had yet picked the National University of Mongolia, so she got to choose it. This was God's will, said Buna, and God knew I didn't have to get a perfect grade to get enrolled in the university. I just needed to trust him perfectly. Today, Buna is 29, uses her math skills to work at ADRA's chief accountant in Mongolia. She and her husband also opened the Pathfinder Church in Mongolia. The church meets in the Roman traditionally Mongolian year. Thank you for 13 Sabbath offerings 3 years ago that helped open the first Adventist high school in Mongolia. Your 13 Sabbath offering this quarter will help and open a lifestyle center in Mongolia's capital.
Hello, happy Sabbath, everyone. I'll read my future talk now. Secret prayer, a necessity. Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face continually. First Chronicles 16:11. When Jesus was upon the earth, He taught His disciples how to pray. He directed them to present their daily needs before God and to cast all their cares upon Him. And the assurance He gave them that their petitions should be heard is assurance also to us. Have a place for secret prayer. Jesus had selected a place of communion with God, and so should we. We need often to retire to some spot, however humble, where we can be alone with God. In the secret place of prayer where no eye but God's can see, no ear but His can hear. We may pour our most hidden desires and longings to the Father of infinite pity. In His hush and silence of the soul, that voice which never fails to answer the cry of human need will speak to our hearts. As we make Christ our daily companion, we shall feel that the power of an unseen world are all around us. And by looking unto Jesus, we shall become assimilated to His image. By beholding, we welcome change. The character is softened, refined, and ennobled for the heavenly kingdom. The sure result of our intercourse and fellowship with our Lord will be increased purity and fervor. There will be a growing intelligence in prayer. We are receiving a divine education and is illustrated in our life of diligence and zeal. The soul that turns to God for its help, its support, its prayer by daily earnest prayers will have noble aspirations, clear perceptions of truth and duty, lofty purposes of action, and a continual hungering and thirsting after righteousness. By maintaining a connection with God, we shall be enabled to diffuse to others through our association with them the light, the peace, the serenity that rules in our hearts, the strength acquired in prayer to God, united with persevering effort in training the mind in thoughtfulness and caretaking, prepares one for daily duty and keeps the spirit in peace under all circumstances. Religion must begin with emptying and purifying the heart and must be nurtured by daily prayer. Thank you so much. We'll have Nana now for the poem, please.
Today's poem is called God's Promise. God has not promised skies always blue, flowers with pathways, all life's through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, peace without pain. But God has promised strength for the day, rest for the labourer, light for the way, grace for the trials, help from above, unfailing sympathy and undying love. Thank you.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. Today's memory verse is from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 to 4. They all ate the same spiritual food, and they all drank the same spiritual drink. They drank from that spiritual rock that was with them, and that rock was Christ.
मैं हवाले करने नीचे पढ़ा जाने पेड़ में पढ़े पहला करनिया 10 बाब 3 से 4 First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3 and 4 हिंदी से इस तरह लिखा है और सबने एक ही अधार्मिक भोजन खाया और सबने एक ही अधार्मिक जल पिया क्योंकि वो उस अधार्मिक चट्टान से पीते थे जो उनके साथ साथ चलती थी वो चट्टान मसीह था आमीन